Hello everyone, welcome to 2 and 3D. So today we're just going to be rigging this character. I'm just going to jump into it. So what you need is really what I did use for this my character is Adobe Illustrator, and I actually prefer using Adobe Illustrator to Photoshop for creating characters like this, especially characters that do not have those kind of realistic shadings. So it's wiser to use Illustrator because you get to use a vector file which you can zoom in and scale and not lose so much quality, actually not lose any quality in the first place. So you drag the .ai file to your project panel, and then from there you drag it to your timeline, and then I just added a camera. So this character is not rigged. There's no draggers, nothing, no triggers. So double click, and you go into the rig panel, and then we're just going to start with the cape. What I did do for the cape was I made a cycle just so that this cape responds to like wind kind of thing to make the character a bit more cinematic. So I'm going to drag this just to make it keep so that it keeps replaying. I'm going to create a swap set and then drag the cape into it and then make it default and large. And after doing this, now automatically this will be active. So I'm going to select it and add a layer behavior to it and cycle layer behavior to it. So select that, come down and add 2. In my own case, I might increase this, but for now let's do 2, and then let's make it continue so that it goes through from the top to the bottom and then starts all over again from the top to the bottom, and it keeps going. So now let's just test this so that we'll see how it looks. Come to your record, and then automatically the cape will start flapping. So well, there's something not it's not looking really great, at least at the end. So I can see that the end frame is not looking so great. So I'm just going to go in and fix that quickly. Maybe we should, let me do it. Initially I was going to pause this. Maybe I should pause it because this is supposed to be a rig tutorial. So I'm going to pause it and come back. Okay, so as you can see, it's quite smoother now at the end. So I made some quick movement at the end. That was the reason why it wasn't that smooth, but it's fine now. So we're done with that. Okay, so let's just go back to the rig panel. And then now the first thing I normally do is the head. So you select the head, and then in my own case I have 2 heads. I have a head inside this head. This is so that you can create profiles. You could duplicate this and create a different profile, and just like that. Okay, so I'm going to select this and then make this face independent. That is just so that I can add movement to it. And in this case, I'm going to be adding jaw. So the first thing I do is drag bone across and then make the bone fixed. And then now I'm going to drag another bone and make it jaw. We target jaw. So now we're done with that. And then the hair, I'm not going to be adding any movement to the hair. Normally physics is supposed to work with it, but I'm just going to leave it like this. Maybe I should, no, let me just leave it like this. So let's go to the FFT, the facial features. So let's drag the brow and create a swap set. I'm going to delete this sample because it's not useful. So I'm going to select everything now and latch. And then after that, I can go through and just add configure them to your keys. So I'm going to make this 1 and 2, make it 2, 3, make it 3. This is for the facial features, like the eyebrow movements, to give it those kind of emotional, and to give him the character sadness and happiness and stuff like that. Okay, make 8, and then 9, make 9, 9. Now we'll come to the eyes. So there are 2 eyes here. This is the eyes forward, the eyes back. This is supposed to be, because I'm going to be adding Okay, let's do this. Let's do the iris, and then add a dragger there, and then still select it and go to the puppet at this place, go to this place, and then create clipping mask. When you do that, now there's something clipping. Okay, meanwhile, I don't this eye glowing thing is supposed to be a feature that's supposed to be a trigger, so I'm going to drag it and make it a trigger, and then I'm just going to make it let's say X, and then latch it. And then now I'm going to turn it off because so that we can see her actual eyes. Okay, so now this is masking this IBG is masking this, but then I had to create another layer above it just so that this black outline is visible, and this blue eyes doesn't go over the black layer, the black outline, which is why I actually created this again. So whatever I apply to this, whatever trigger I apply to this, I have to apply to this also. So I'm just going to drag IBG, drag it, and create swap set. Let's close this. Select everything and latch. And okay, so now we now have the blink is a cycle. That is why it's displaying like this. So you come to the eyes forward, and then yes, and then you drag blink to blink here. You drag close to close, 1 to 1, 2 3 2 2 3. Just you have to put them in the same position. Okay, so we're done with that. I'm going to come back to this eventually, but for now let me just close this just so that we're done with everything. The mount is fine. Okay, so now all this, they are actually supposed to be cycle layers because there are 2 layers in them that is supposed to go through. So I'm just going to select everything here and come down and add a cycle layer behavior, and then you come down and make it 2, forward and reverse, hold on last layer. And then I'm going to do the same to the blink. So this and this, select both, and then add a cycle layers behavior, make it 2, forward and reverse, hold on last layer. Okay, so now I'm just going to add a blink tag just for auto blink. Then now, just so that I do not forget, I'm going to select this and add 2 more behaviors that do not come with your puppet automatically. So this you could reduce, this is fine. I'm going to leave it at 30, and then I'm going to add walk and make this left and right, come down to strength and make it 75. Good. So now we have our face or rigged. I'm just going to come here, select the head, the main head. Let's make it at this point, and then we'll add a neck and then a draggable. Okay, so now we'll select the body, and I'm just going to zoom out a little and add a waist tag, add waist, tag it, add a draggable there, add, click left hip, right hip, and then you open body. And in my own case, I do have the leg A and then leg F. This leg F is for floating, especially when I'm going to make the character float, which is why I have this, and this is cycle layer. But this is just one, so I'm just going to select this, and then I'm going to make them independent. Zoom out a little just so we can see the entire leg. and then I'm going to drag this to this point and this to this point. Good. Okay, now you select one of the legs and let's add a knee. Add a knee and add a draggable there. Add an ankle. Heel, I think. Yes, and then the toe. Same thing. Add a knee. Ankle. Heel. And toe. I'm going to pin this point just so that this point will remove. Pin this point also. And I'm going to do the same to this, pin this point and this point. Okay, now I'm going to add this stick, that is this, the bone, just so the character's leg will move like a real human leg, unlike a rubber hose kind of character. Select it and do the same. Good. So now I'm tempted to actually do the leg. Let's just do the leg. Normally I would do the hand by this time, but let's do the leg. So I'm going to add this swap set and name it legs. So I'm going to select both the just this one, leg B, drag it in, and then select leg A and drag it in, and this should be the default. And latch it. Okay, and then leg F, I'm just going to drag this in. This should be for her floating. Let's make this B. Let's make this B. Okay. And latch. Alright, make sure you select both. Yes, you select both and add a cycle layer behavior to good. So now what else? That's basically it for the body. And then let's just test the character. The blue glue is supposed to disappear, yes. So now we have our eyes, and you can see the dragger is working fine, and her neck dragger is working fine, her waist is working fine, like everything is working actually very, very good. So just you could do this, and I didn't add the dragger to the left and draggable to the right leg, so I'm just going to do that quickly. Select leg A, no, leg B, and then select the right knee and add a draggable there. Good. So now what do we have? Okay, now let's work on the arm. I'm going to drag hand A and drag it and create a swap set. Select everything here and latch. Same thing, you come to the arm B, and then you select, you drag, and you create a swap set. Select everything and latch. Good. So now my character, what I did was I create an in-between, and these are all cycle layers with empty layers in them, with one action layer, with one layer with an actual action, and then the in-betweens are all stored here, just because in-betweens are repeated in animation, so there's no point making everything, like creating an in-between, like this particular in-between for this, and then creating it for this, and creating it for this, and putting it all in here. It makes your work a bit complex. But I stored all the IBs, all the in-betweens in one particular file, one particular layer, and then I'm referencing them in each. So like this, what you see, there's a hashtag 4 in front of it. So it means the in-between that it's supposed to use is this. So that's exactly what I'm doing. That's the reason this will actually, if you can actually inculcate this in your work, this is going to make your work really, it's going to make it neater and make it way more easier for you. So now that I've done all this, I'm just going to put the in between where they're supposed to be. So I'm working on the hand B, and that's where the hand B is. So now what's the in between for what? What is 4? So hashtag 4, I'm just going to drag that in. Where? Hashtag B2, so I'm just going to drag that in. Where up? Hashtag 20, so I'm going to drag that in. So it's just the same thing, you do it over and over. Maybe just for the sake of this video, I don't want it to be too long. I'm going to pause and just do the rest. Okay, so I'm done working on the arm A and arm B. So what I'm going to do is, these are actually cycle layers, so I'm just going to select all the cycle layers because these all have the same exact cycle layer behavior to them. So I'm just going to select all of them. Oh, missed that. Maybe I should start with the arm A. Let's start with this. Select. Select. Come down to this. Okay, select everything, come down to cycle layers, and then we'll make it 2, and then make it forward and reverse, and hold on last layer. Okay, so that's basically it. I believe I'm done with this character. You could actually let me work on the hands, the default hands. So let's just make these 2 hands, let's make them independent. Let's make it independent, and then make this one independent. Okay, so this is just so that the character will be able to walk. I'm just going to drag this up here. Let's add a bone, just since it's active. Let's add a bone. These points. Add a bone. Another bone. Okay, so now let's add the shoulders. Let's add the elbow, and add a draggable there. And then the wrist, I'm going to make it at this point just because I feel like it works best at that point. So I'm still going to add a draggable. Let's add a shoulder. Add another elbow, and add a draggable. Add another wrist, and add a draggable. And now we have our character fully rigged. So let's just try the character. Okay, so now we have okay, so let's get the facial. Oh no, let me zoom in. You need to. Okay, just so that we can see her face. And then let's use 1, 2, 3, 4. The keys we configured. We configured the eyebrow, so we're going to get PT, like sad face, get angry face, get scared, surprised, like that. So you get all the emotional triggers we added. And we did not configure blink, so I'm just going to go back and do that, because normally I configure I make 0 my blink. So let's go back to the eyes. Yes, the eyes in here. Let's add 8. Let's add 0. Okay, so it's loading. So 0 blink, and you see the character is blinking fine. So that is basically it for this character. We need to make that hinge so that her waist will be moving. Let's come here, in here, and then make. Oh, it's not independent. That explains it. And then make it hinge. This will make her movement way better. You see, her movement is way better now. Okay, so for the hands, we did stuff like, okay, we did not configure the hand to keys, so I'm going to do that quickly. Yeah, we didn't configure a lot of things. So hand A, normally, like, I just go through and just give it the top keys. That's Q, W, E, R, T, Y, U, I, O, and let me give this other waist P. Let me give it P. Yes. Come down to hand B. Then we'll use the lower keys A, S, D, F, G, okay, that's all. I'm supposed to work on this also, so maybe I'll just give this P. Let me give it P. Okay, so let me try P. Yep, you see the hands just go up. My only problem is it doesn't look very, very good, because I created that arm separately, but it's fine. So let's try the other triggers. So this is working fine. It's supposed to be this. Okay, so that's working fine. So this is also working fine. This is working fine. That's all right. Okay, this is just so that when you're animating the character, you can make her to be something like this. And that's good. So stuff like this. I need to work on this actually. So just different arm movement, and that is fine. So already we have our eyes moving, our brows, like that, angry, and okay. So now what I would like to work on is her float. So I want this character to be able to float. I don't know if I have enough time for that. Maybe I'll make that into a separate video. Yes, I think I will. Instead. So for now, thank you for watching. Please give us a like, give us a sub. It will really help us reach more people. And help us reach you also with more content like this. So thank you for watching, and bye for now.